What if you could take the magic of brands like Nordstrom, Disney, even corporations like Vistage, and infuse those into your personal brand? Stay with us right here, right now on Allie You. Welcome to Allie You, the business, success, and lifestyle show. I am Allison Maslan. I am your business growth mentor and serial entrepreneur, and I'm on a mission to help millions of business owners just like you break through to the next level in your business, your wealth, and your happiness and your fun. And today we're going to do all of that and so much more. So you are in the right place, because I'm going to introduce to you someone that's really special to me. She's a dear friend. She is a complete rock star in her industry. She's been a client of mine for years. For 23 years, JuliAnn Stitick has developed powerful, memorable brands for entrepreneurs, executives, and corporate influencers so they can connect with the right clients and establish themselves as industry experts. And this is what you want to do. And what this does is it rapidly grows their profits. Trusted by companies such as Lexus, Nordstrom, Disney, Vistage, JuliAnn's sought-after programs. I mean, this woman is in demand. She works with people online, in person, keynote presentations, workshops. She's a best-selling author 2 times over. Her latest book, which you have to get your hands on, is called The Purpose Crisis. Stop the inner struggle, find your life's meaning, and reveal the magnificent you who's ready to be seen. So I cannot wait for you to meet JuliAnn Stitick.
Well, hello there.
Hi.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here and talk about branding today.
I am so excited you're here too. But first, I have to mention that we are the motorcycle mamas today.
Hot mamas.
This wasn't planned, but leather, black leather and pink leather.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We can tell who the bad girl is.
I know. That would be me. All right, well, let's jump right in, because I have so much I want to share, because there's so many amazing things that you're up in the world doing and helping people. So you've been creating successful brands for, a couple decades now. And branding, that's how people remember you. That's how people want to come back and buy what you have. So it's super important. But let's back up. How did you get into this world of branding?
Well, I got into this world, 5th generation entrepreneur. Every assessment I've ever taken has said you should just be your own boss. And so I really started my professional career doing marketing and branding for an executive commercial real estate firm. And ultimately ended up, life circumstances changed. I had my second child, and then I decided I thought it would be a lot of fun to go to work at Nordstrom. So I took a position there very part-time, and immediately I was in the activewear department, and I was there for like 3 days, and I thought, okay, this wearing heels to work is for the birds. And so I went to the management and I said, I think we would sell more activewear if we wore activewear to work. And so they said, well, that's against corporate policy. And I said, well, ask. And so they did, and so they did a test run. And you can imagine our sales increased, and now it's a nationwide policy that they wear activewear at Nordstrom.
Wow!
So
that's pretty impressive. So it pays to
Yes,
speak up
absolutely,
and ask.
Absolutely. So they promoted me and trained me to do personal styling for the store, and both careers, I loved what I was doing, but I kept feeling like there should be something more, right? And so ultimately, life circumstances stepped in again, and I needed to quit my job with Nordstrom. But they had booked me for a couple of speaking engagements to represent them. And even after I was no longer employed by the store, I did these engagements, and a woman walked up to me after the second one and said, "Do you work with people one-on-one?" And I said, "Well, yes, I do." And then she said, "How much do you charge?" And I literally pulled $150 an hour out of the, cosmos. And I'm thinking, there is no way this woman's going to pay me that. And she said, "Okay, when can I hire you?" Well, so what I've ultimately done is I have created a business with marketing and branding background, image, and then personal development, which has always been a huge passion of mine. And I've created this business so that I get to truthfully get to know people on a very intimate level, really figure out what makes them tick and what makes them the most fascinating and engaging, and then reflect that outwards through their personal presence and their brand online. And so I build a business doing all the things I love doing most.
Who doesn't want to be fascinating, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. And you're so good at that because we've worked together. You've been in Pinnacle Global Network for several years, and I've seen what you've done for so many of our clients. It's like, wow, they're really showing up in the world in a big way.
Well, the beauty is, thank you for that reflection, and the beauty is that it's really great for business. No question about that. But personally, the level of confidence and going after what they want in life and really owning who they are when they are firing at all cylinders and creating their brand based on the vision that they want for their life and then reverse engineering that truly transforms not just the brand and the business, but the person.
And when you are growing and scaling a company, like I talk about in my new book.
Great book.
So you really have to own it.
Yes.
You have to play the part.
Yes.
And so if you're feeling good on the inside, then that's going to reflect on the outside, which is going to help your resilience, all along the way. So
yes.
So it's important. So but let's back up. How would you define a personal brand? Because I do think that there is some confusion out in the marketplace.
Right. So a personal brand, my definition of it is the experience that someone has of you, what they see, what they hear. And I approach everything from a very sensory level. I look at every avenue using all of our senses to be able to create an experience that really connects with people. But the most powerful element is, how does the brand make you feel? Because we all know that people buy based on emotion. So we want to make that instant connection so that, when you meet somebody and you click,
yes,
that's what we're looking for, is a click with the brand, a real connection, and that is what instantly attracts people.
Right. So it's the know, like, and trust, but almost on a deeper, more experiential level.
Right. It's literally a visceral feel, a visceral connection with the brand.
Wow. That is powerful. And so the difference, because we've changed a lot over the last even few years, it really was about the business brand. So you had, with Coca-Cola or Johnson & Johnson or Kraft, right? These are the brands we've all grown up with. But now really it is the person behind the brand. Can you speak about that?
Right, absolutely. Well, my philosophy is that the personal brand of the leadership or the business owner sets the foundation for absolutely every decision that the business makes. What do they value? What are they passionate about? What is their skill set? And then how do you take their strengths and all of the things that make that person magnetic and infuse that into the brand, because it impacts the company's culture, it impacts the customer's experience. And so people buy from people. So let's find a way to really infuse the human part of a leadership into a corporate brand.
Right. And, you know, there's a saying, dress the part. And so when I think of dress the part, yes, it's the clothes, but it's also stepping into that version of yourself as a leader. And if you're going to grow and scale a company, you got to show up as a leader.
You do. And here's an interesting thing. I see this over and over. I was just having a conversation with someone about this today, is business owners, they invest heavily in their branding and their marketing, and they're actually neglecting their most valuable marketing asset, which is who they are.
Yes.
And the interesting thing, I think, is the mindset around, well, I don't want it to be all about me, and we can talk about visibility a little further down the road, because that is the biggest roadblock.
Well, let's talk about it now.
Okay, all right.
So what is that people have a hard time with, that visibility? How is it a roadblock for them?
Well, it's a roadblock. I will tell you that every single person I have ever worked with, no matter what level they are in business, has fear of visibility at some level. Mm-hmm. So I'll speak for myself. For me, having a personal brand and being an example of a personal brand, I have to be out there and I have to be visible and I have to put myself out there. And there's all of the messages that we've been raised with about being humble and don't try to be the center of attention. And, you know, I'm sure you have some of your own. So, you know, what are people going to think? And I don't want to make it all about me. People are afraid to be seen and be transparent. And the truth is, that is the secret sauce, is putting yourself out there and being seen and being transparent, because that's what makes you real to other people, and that's what builds that connection.
Yeah, I truly believe that the more you can share, the more real you can be, the more people will feel like, oh, there's someone I can relate to.
Right.
I had someone come up to me once, because I am a total klutz, and I'm a trapeze artist, but just walking on the ground, I have issues. And I was at an event and I tripped on stage, and this woman came up to me and said, I hired your company because you tripped. You know?
And it made you human
because,
to
yeah,
her.
and that's what, so I think this is important, because people are afraid to put themselves out there. They want to be perfect, or they do the video over and over and over.
Right.
And that's not really what people are going to connect with.
It's not.
Nobody feels that way.
No, because there is a lack of trust when things show up too perfectly.
Interesting. Yeah, like it can't be real.
It's too good to be true.
Yeah, something's going on there, right? Mm-hmm. So how do we bring this back to the bottom line? Some people are probably going, yeah, nice, lots of fluff, but how do we grow our sales through our personal brand?
Right. Well, as I mentioned earlier, you know, you've got that click factor. When you are truly putting yourself out there in all aspects of your business, when you base it on the foundation of the personal brand, you can't help but have a consistent, cohesive brand, and a brand that people truly connect with. What things does it impact? So let's really get down to that. It impacts everything. It impacts the presentations you give on stage. It impacts the products that you create. It impacts the way that you write your book. Because when you are really building a brand based on your visionary best, you put yourself out there in a different way. You have a different mindset with which you create all of your offerings for your business, and also really stepping up and going, you know what, I'm going to invest more in a really solid photographer because I know I need great images.
Right. Yeah, it really does affect every aspect of your business. It affects your team, your customers, so just cannot talk about it enough. And of course, JuliAnn is the one to be working with to get your personal brand. And we'll talk about how people can do that later.
Will you say that again?
Did you hear me? JuliAnn is the one to work with on your personal brand.
Okay, good.
Do you think we got it?
Yeah,
all right,
I heard it this time.
And we'll connect you a little later. So what do you feel is the biggest roadblock that hinders people?
The biggest roadblock is the visibility.
Okay.
It's the I'll make investments in my business, but I don't want to invest in myself. It's almost there's been a little bit of a shift, and I'm working really hard to make that happen. But people think that they're doing it. Oh, this is something I'm doing for myself.
Right.
And I want to speak to something here. Women have a much harder time investing in it than men do. Men, they get it. They see that. Women, we go through all of these different stories in our head about, well, you know, it's like women feeling, a good example is that women feeling, when I used to go out and shop with people and style them, they would say, well, you know, I feel guilty about spending all this money on clothes. And I'm like, this is your personal brand. This is you. This is how you show up and make connections with people. And they weren't able to make the shift into really building a brand and investing in yourself.
Right.
Is a powerful commitment. And then the other roadblock is the visibility piece. I'm afraid. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to be seen. I don't want people to think that I think that I'm all that. I've heard it so many times in so many different ways.
Well, if you're watching this on Facebook right now, then put in the chat, what do you feel your biggest roadblock is? Do you have a fear of visibility? Is that it? Or do you have a fear of investing in yourself? You know, I do think a lot of women in general, men too, but it's like we're taking care of everybody else. And as the business owner, you make sure that your customers are taken care of and your employees are taken care of. And oftentimes the business owner is, you know, the last.
Right. And you know, another one just popped into my head that that you inspired me to think about is this idea around needing to have it all figured out before you hire the expert. It's like cleaning your house before your housekeeper comes.
Yes. How many of you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
I need to have things more figured out before I hire you. And I'm like, wait, that's what I do. I help
right.
you we figure out the strategy together.
Exactly. So I want to shift a little bit into your new book.
Yes.
And then we'll pull it all together. But I'm so fascinated by what you've written, and it's a phenomenal book. And it's called Purpose Crisis, and you definitely want to check it out. But you talk about having a higher purpose, and that's the key to living, you know, a real fulfilling life. And so what is Purpose Crisis? Break that down for us.
So let me back up just a bit, and that is that in all the years that I've been working with clients, people come to me and they say, you know, I'm really good at that. This is important to me. This is what I want to do with my business. I like contributing here. You know, this is my skill set. You know, and they bring all these pieces together. And what I have found is that I'm the common thread person. I want to find, where's that little common thread in there? And what I identified after all these years is that what it comes down to is the purpose. Like, what's your purpose? And so Purpose Crisis really came out of recognizing that that's where most people are confused around their brand. Because when you identify what the purpose is in life, okay?
Yeah.
This is not just about branding, this is about your life. And when you can identify what your unique purpose is, then and only then will you be able to use that as a compass to point you in the right direction with all of your business decisions and all of your life decisions.
That is really powerful. And I do think that it's a very hard-hitting title, but I think that a lot of people are going through that these days, you know?
They are, and you know, here's the thing that's been so great. We created the client avatar for this book. And what we have found, the book is targeted to women. I've had men read it and they've loved it. But what we found is that women, literally 70 down to 20 are reading this book, and they are connecting with it, because the truth is we all want to find meaning. We all want more meaning in our lives, and that's what this book does. It helps you move past all of the confusion, get really clear on what that purpose is, and then finally let yourself out. That person that you know you're capable of doing, but you're too afraid to think that you can actually achieve it.
And so what you're saying really is the purpose is inside of them. The happiness and joy is inside of you. And if you're waking up in the morning saying, well, if I could only get to here, if I could only get to here, if you can connect to that deeper purpose now, you can be happy on the way to achieving those things.
Absolutely. And I feel that when you said it's internal, and absolutely, I think of your purpose is this big ball of light. I mean, I love visuals. So it's this big ball of light. And the truth is, all of the shoulds and shouldn'ts, and those are all the things, I call those the voices on your shoulder, right? All the little voices that sit and tell you that you can't do this and you shouldn't do that, and all the stuff that we've all had our own experiences with, right? And those cover up, right? And the thing is, I call it tickling your tingle, okay? And so that little feeling that you get right in the pit of your stomach, where you kind of know that there's possibility, but then you kind of shut it down, right? Because you just wouldn't want to put it all out there, because somebody might judge you.
Right.
But the truth is, you're judging you, right?
Yeah.
It's us that are judging ourselves.
That's true.
And it's us preventing. And so what I love to do is I will put the stake in the ground for my clients. I believe in them from the bottom of my heart, and I'm going to help them figure out what that is, so that they can put themselves out there and go after bigger things and ask for more money for speaking engagements. I mean, I can't even tell you the level of confidence that grows when someone goes, oh, that's what I'm capable of.
Yes, where you see a whole new possibility, a much bigger possibility. And most business owners are playing way too small. They really are. And once you can step into that, or even just, tiptoe into it and see, that door open up, life can change in such a big way.
And, Allison, in full transparency, I mean, this whole thing came about because of my own stuff, right?
Yes.
It's all the struggles that I've had, and all the challenges that I've had of really finally, and, I'm still on my journey, right? But of really going, you know what? I believe in you, JuliAnn, right? And that's what I want other people to be able to have for their lives too, because we're the only people that are limiting ourselves. There's so much possibility out there, and so much that we can achieve and go after if we will only allow ourselves to believe in ourselves.
Yeah, believe in yourself and just be you, right?
Yeah.
Instead of trying to hide parts of you, let those parts shine. So we've personal branding, purpose crisis. How does all of this come together in alignment?
Well, we identify most of the brands that I work with. In fact, all of the brands that I work with are all purpose-driven brands. So once we identify that purpose as part of the brand identity, that is yet another spoke in the wheel of really building out a brand that is the most powerful and visionary.
Wow, I love that. So you can be purposeful, live on purpose, and create a successful business, and it's all happening at the same time. Now, you have something special that you're going to be offering our audience?
I have something good for you. Yes, I do. So I'm actually offering them a program that is my signature program. It's called the Total Package. It's an online program. And it is my 5 keys to a profitable personal brand. And then I'm also gifting them a strategy session with me.
Wow.
So the idea is for them to go through and DIY the Total Package online program. And then I'm going to work with them one-on-one to help them put some strategies in place so that they can start executing and changing their life.
Wow, you're going to be able to work directly with JuliAnn. What a gift that is. That's amazing. So for the download that she's talking about, this free gift, these 5 keys, go to AllisonMaslan.com/library, because you're going to get all kinds of incredible downloads from our past guests and from JuliAnn. And if you want people to reach directly to you, how do they find you?
Right. So I'm actually doing something else. So the download that they're going to be getting is actually my 7 strategies to refresh their brand.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be available at the library.
Okay.
If they want to take me up on my offer, I'm just keeping it simple. I'm just asking them to email clientcare@JuliAnnStitick.com.
Okay.
In the subject line, put Allie You, and they're going to get a $1,400.97 program for free.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you tell that contact information?
Yeah,
one more
it's
time?
clientcare@JuliAnnStitick.com.
Okay, perfect. You heard it right here. JuliAnn is the expert, and if you're ready in this, year coming up very quickly here, but anytime really you're like, you know what? I've been playing small. I'm ready to step up in a big way in your business, in your life. Definitely reach out to JuliAnn. And this has been fabulous.
It's been amazing. Thank you. I always love spending time with you.
Well, I love spending time with you too. And you just are such a wealth of knowledge. And, JuliAnn, I will tell you, you also have some unique gifts. Like you bake pies. Like I'm the worst. I would not bake a pie. I've had just disasters. Every week she's making a new pie. She's taking them to the firefighters and all these people that are doing incredible, important things in the world. And she's like the expert, know how to pack, know how to get organized, all the things that I am like the worst at.
And the thing is, you won't listen to me. She won't. Like I will before events, like right before events. It's like, what am I going to wear for this event? It's like 2 days before the event.
I know.
Right?
I know.
And I'm like, Allison, weeks before, we got to get this all figured out. But you love to roll that way.
Well, I wouldn't say I love to roll that way, but yeah, I tend to roll that way. But I really enjoy, and to me, getting dressed up for the events and stuff, that's really fun. I enjoy it. It's kind of like, going out for a party. And that is a big part of my brand. A lot of times people are like, okay, what's Allison going to wear? And so then I'm like, oh my God, I gotta find something really cool
and
to wear.
you always pull it together. It's just that some people like to plan way out in advance.
Oh,
so,
I know.
So I have, they can download my free ebook from your site too. It's called Step Into Your Power, and it's all of the things that I do behind the scenes, like step by step, to get ready for events.
She even is like a master at organizing purses. Like my purse, I couldn't even zip it today. It's so bad. Anyway, so go ahead and check out all the things that JuliAnn has. We have on our library. Go there, check out what she has. Reach out to her. You will absolutely love it. And you can find us on all channels out there for this podcast. We're on video podcast on iTunes. Or go to subscribe to Allie.com. That way you're going to get the show every single week. You won't miss an episode, so definitely do that. And don't forget to grab a copy of Scale or Fail. And it hit the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. Yay!
Woo!
And go to scaleorfail.com to grab that. And besides that, check out all the events and everything we have going on at AllisonMaslan.com. Until then, get out there, elevate yourself, because you are worth it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.